Duncan Preston is perhaps best known for his work with Victoria Wood in Acorn Antiques and as Stan in Dinner Ladies. He has also worked for the Royal Shakespeare Company and has toured as Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird. He was born in Bradford, and I asked him how he got started as an actor, and did his family have any interest in the theatre?
None whatsoever. Absolutely not. No, nothing at all. I went to a church drama group. We formed a church drama group, and we were doing a panto. We were doing Cinderella, I think, and they were going to do a read-through, like in the February before they put it on the following February.
Very keen amateurs, aren't they?
Yeah. On a youth club.
So had you started work? Did you have a job or training before you did that?
I think I was just on my first job, which was the Halifax Building Society, and they said, "Oh, come on, you'll be all right, play Sonny." I said, "I will not." And anyway, I went and I sat there while they read it, and they said, "What do you do, broker's man?" And I said, "I'll help you out, and I'll do it but you'll have to get somebody else to do it later, because there's no way I'm doing it in front of an audience." And then it got.
So you were 16, 17 at the time.
Yeah. Then it got to about October, and I said, no,
they hadn't been rehearsing all the time, had they?
Well, we've been rehearsing. That's what they do, isn't it? One night a week or something. So it got to about October, and I said, "Look, who are you going to get to do this? Because, it ain't going to be me." I said, "Oh, it'll have to be. We've only got 4 months left." So I did it, and I found. Now you get 6 days, if you're lucky. And I found I quite enjoyed it. There was some kind of... And then I joined a rather good amateur group in Bradford, and got a few prizes, and an English teacher who I knew, I used to go in the bar every night, I almost lived there. He came to see a show, and he said, "Have you ever thought of doing this profession, because you know you can do this?" And I thought, and nobody had ever said, that was any good at anything before, and they were dead right. I wasn't any good at anything, and I think, kind of colours your idea. You've got, it just proves that everybody's good at something, and if
just
the kids
finding
today
what it
could
is.
find out what they're good at, the world would be a different place.
There's an awful amount of luck involved that you actually hit your target, because there must be thousands, millions of people going through life who've never had the chance to find out what they were good at.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. I didn't have a chance. It was only because I was funny. That's why they asked me a lot. Everybody used to think I was funny. I'm not anymore. I'm just all grumpy now. Yeah, but they've just been telling me how grumpy I am upstairs. But with charm, they said. You grump with charm, they said. Anyway, so I joined them, and then this guy came up from a drama school to do a weekend course. They were so keen, they were that keen, and they did courses and things. I didn't want to do any course, I wasn't on that. I'd far rather go and watch Bradford Bulls play rugby league on a Saturday afternoon. I don't want to go and do anything else. So anyway, he came to see a show that I was doing on the Saturday night called A Lily in Little India, and he again said, "Look, have you ever thought of doing this professionally, because you can do it?" And I fixed his car for him, I remember. He had a little Hillman Imp, and his throttle had gone, so I borrowed a pair of tights and I mended it so he could get to a hotel in Ilkley that he was going to, and in return he sent me the forms for RADA. And I went down and told my dad I was going to a meeting I was now working for my dad, who was a haulage contractor. I said, "I'm going to a meeting of the Road Haulage Association," went and auditioned for RADA and got in, which was the biggest surprise,
It doesn't seem you were that committed to it. Were you jolted? It was a sort of gradual thing.
I never thought for a minute I'd get in. I never thought for a minute. I still don't think I'm that, I'm not, I'm just a middle of the road actor. That's how I look at myself. And if I'm working, I'm very lucky. That's how I feel about it. Because, I was reading an article yesterday about a girl called Sheridan Smith, who I've worked with. She played my daughter in a thing on the radio. And I just thought that's how it really should be, if you're really going to hit it big. I mean, I've just worked, just ticked over.
Which is all you can ask for, really.
Well, it's
in
all I
this
wanted,
business.
really. Now I look at it, that's all I wanted. I've got to be honest. I mean, I get enough recognition for, being on the telly. I don't think I could stand anymore. People are very nice to me. People are really nice. They come up and they say, "You give me such a lot of entertainment and joy over the years," and I just think that's really nice, people to say that. But I've never really played a leading part. I mean, this is a leading part.
Sure, no, it's a fairly meaty part too, I would have thought.
It's a wonderful part. Probably in the top 3 parts I've ever played, yeah.
Did you or do you have any ambitions for parts? I mean, do you do much Shakespeare?
Well, I was at the RSC for 2.5 years, and I played other plays in other places, and I don't have any kind of great reverence for it.
You don't have ambitions for Lear or anything like that?
No. I don't know whether I could do it. I don't know whether I'm physically strong enough to do it. I think you've got to be really
Ladies
strong
and
to do
gentlemen,
that.
could Jackie Wood come to stage door? Could Jackie Wood come to stage door?
But, I mean, to do it really well, I mean, this is my limit, I think.
But so you seem quite happy to be just, for want of a better phrase, a jobbing actor.
That's what I am.
And
That's exactly what I am.
And if you keep on working, then
yeah,
you're fine.
that's what I am. Nothing more. And I'm not Ewan McGregor or...
No, but you seem, from what you're saying, to have always been like that. Did you never, when you started, when you were at RADA, didn't you think, this is it, I'm going to make it, I'm going to be a big star? Or when you left RADA?
All I wanted
or
to
whatever?
do when I left RADA was, I was only talking about this morning to a guy on the radio. All I wanted to do was to act. I just wanted to do, and I suppose the real ultimate was to go to the RSC and act there. And never even considered going on television. Never even entered my head to go on television. And then I met Victoria Wood, and that changed all that.
We'll talk about that in a minute. When you left RADA, you just do rep for a few years?
I went straight to Sheffield Rep, yeah. It was the old Playhouse, not the Crucible.
Oh, right.
I closed it. I closed the old Playhouse. But I was the first person to speak on the Crucible stage. But it wasn't, they didn't have a roof on. It was just a commemoration of the stage being there. And I went up to Nigel Hawthorne and said, "Would you do this?" And he said, "No, get him to do it." And I said, "Oh, thanks a lot." And I was only too happy to do it, obviously.
When did you leave RADA? This would have been what, mid-60s?
69.
Late 60s.
Started on the 5th of January 1970 at Sheffield Rep. And I stayed there for 14 months. And I was very lucky, I met Nigel Hawthorne on that job. And then I met Ian McKellen on my second job. And, you learn off those people, obviously. Even if you don't realise you're learning.
Of course.
It's rubbing off.
And the variety and number of plays you do.
Yeah.
Do you lament the passing of it, Rep?
Well, I don't think it was the best quality work, but it just taught you how to do it.
But you'd play parts then you'd never been offered now because you were...
Well, no, I didn't really.
No?
Because I didn't play all the best parts, by any means. I was just there. I can't remember what I did play, to be honest. I remember Nigel saying to me, he was playing the Scottish fella, and I was playing Duncan, believe it or not, in a wheelchair. I was in a wheelchair with a bald head. And he said, you'll go far in this business. Or you should, he said, but there's no justice, so don't count on it. And he was right.
But, well, let's go on to Victoria Wood.
I mean, he's right about there being no justice.
Oh, I see.
I mean, you meet
no, there is no
actors who
justice.
don't
Now,
work,
this is
and
what
you meet bad actors who do.
Well, this is what I was going to say, is that, and what you were just saying about the grounding and the experience you got in Rep. They weren't always good plays, they weren't always good parts, but you were learning the business, and you were learning to, and now when you come into the business, there isn't that grounding. They go straight into a soap, and they learn to play one part over 5 years, and they've had no experience.
Well, I do a lot of work at RADA. I don't mean I do a lot of work. I'm involved. I know. I go there and see plays. And most of the students that I talk to there, they want to do theatre. They really want to do it properly. So They're lucky if they get work at all. I am so pleased I am not starting out now. I mean, it's not the same as it used to be. It was easier, for sure. You know, there were, as you say, 50-odd theatres. I went to Harrogate Rep before I went to drama school, and I said, a director called Derek Golby, who actually directed Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead at the National. But long before then, when I met him, he was at Harrogate Rep, and I said, will you give me a job? He said, yeah, I will give you a job. £1 a week.
I know.
I mean, my bus fare.
But they weren't even obliged to do that. They weren't obliged to pay you anything.
No, it was student ASM.
That's
And then when they went to Sheffield, they offered me an ASM job, and I said, no, I'm not ASMing. I want to be an actor. I don't want to learn about all the stuff backstage because I just want to be an actor. And they said, all right.
Let's talk about Victoria Wood, because to a certain extent, she created her own little repertory company.
Yeah.
She had a group of actors. There was you
did.
and Celia Emery and Julie Wharton and all that,
Susie Blake.
and those people,
Yeah.
and Anne Reid and whatever.
Did it? Not so much.
Not so much, but did it feel like that?
We never saw it like that, I've got to be honest. You know, we worked a lot together, but we didn't kind of count on it because we only worked like maybe 7 weeks a year, you know, we were doing other things. You know, Victoria Wood, as seen on TV, was 6 weeks.
No, but
7
dinner
weeks.
ladies, there was quite a few of them.
Yeah, but only 16 hours, 16 half hours. That's 8 hours out of your life.
Put it like that.
You know
yeah.
what I mean? I mean, it's only one was 6, one was 10, and we did it. You do that in 6 weeks or 10 weeks.
But I personally am a very great fan of Dinner Ladies. I think it was one of the top comedies. I think it's up there with Blackadder and Dad's Army and all that.
Yeah, well, it obviously was. I mean, we were at the same time as the Royal Family, and people were either Royal Family or Dinner Ladies.
But there were many more for the Royal Family. I mean, I think the Dinner Ladies was so underrated. It never figures in the lists of top 100 comedies.
And the reason is, I think, because the set was wrong somehow. All you could do was stand across the front.
I thought it was brilliant.
Some wonderful lines in it.
I thought it was Pinter.
I mean, she has the most wonderful gift for writing and stand-up.